Hey guys, MLJOR here, back with more Black Ops Cold War content. And today, we're going to be doing another DMR alternative. Here is a DMR loadout, this time for the M82 sniper. But before we start, if you're part of the 73% that watches my videos and is still not subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on as I have more Black Ops Cold War content coming in the days ahead. Let's get into the video. As always, I want to make a habit of showing you guys my work. As of the making of this video, I have exactly 1,000 confirmed kills with the M82. Not one less, not one more. This is still double of what the sharpshooter badge requires. My M82 is maxed out. Reaching those 55 levels earns the marksman badge. And third, all camo challenges are completed, reaching the expert badge. These three combined will earn you the rank of master for this specific weapon. These are not difficult by any means, but they assure enough time to know the weapon so I can bring you guys the absolute best setup for your loadouts instead of clickbait. But enough talk, let's get into the loadout. The M82 sniper was actually a usable DMR before the Season 1 update because it had surprisingly low recoil, a consistent 2-shot kill range, and a 1-shot kill multiplier only to the head. With that being said, the M82 back then had only one downside, and that was the dummy thick aim down sight time at 700 milliseconds. When I first heard that there was a buff coming to the M82, I thought they would make it in line with the other snipers as far as aim down sight time, making it the Dragunov of this game. However, the recent buff destroyed any dreams of this sniper ever being used as a DMR. These changes were an extension to the 1-shot kill range, to the upper chest and upper arms, and an increase to the recoil control. Like always, in today's video we're gonna have two loadouts. First will be the best traditional sniper setup, and second, my personal loadout. As always, there are three things that I look for in a DMR. That is reliability, accuracy, and speed. But first, we're going to look at the base stats for this weapon. The M82 has a damage profile of 110, making it a 2-shot kill to the lower torso and 1-shot kill to the upper chest, upper arms, and head. The M82 has a fire rate of 180 rounds per minute. This means that the time to kill is a 333 milliseconds on the 2-shot kill range and 100 milliseconds at the 1-shot kill range. The M82 does have a headshot multiplier of 1.4, bringing the damage up to 154 for that one headshot kill. The M82 has a maximum effective damage range of 127 meters. Without a damage drop off, this is pretty much meaningless. It's always gonna be what it is. So going into our handling stats, our sprint to fire speed, or our sprint out time, is painfully slow at 450 milliseconds, and our aim down sight time takes an eternity and a half at 700 milliseconds. As always, mission dictates gear, and even though the M82 is extremely consistent, we can still speed up the time to kill. With the 22.6 Tiger Team barrel, this barrel will increase our damage by 20%, from the previously stated 110 all the way up to 132. This barrel will also increase our bullet velocity from 525 meters per second to 787 meters per second. However, the real reason to use this barrel is due to its massive fire rate boost by 20%, taking our fire rate from 180 rounds per minute all the way up to 212 rounds per minute. This will bring our 2-shot time to kill from 333 milliseconds down to a respectable 283 milliseconds. Next up is accuracy. Taking a look at our recoil pattern,
Waypoint marked. Move.
as you can see, it's going to be pretty hard for us to land those 2 shots if needed. Therefore, we'll be adding the wrap suppressor, increasing our vertical recoil by 8%, taking our vertical recoil variable from a crazy high 960 joules down to 883 joules. For those of you who don't know, recoil in Cold War works off an X and Y axis, with Y being vertical and X being horizontal. The higher the number on the Y axis, the more this gun will kick up. Meanwhile, on the X axis, if the number is negative, it will kick to the left, and if it's positive, it will kick to the right, with 0 meaning no horizontal recoil. The suppressor will also keep us off the radar, of course, and reduce our idle sway by 20%. For our downsides, we'll take a pretty big hit to our aim down sight time by 20%, from the already painfully slow 700 milliseconds down to your grandma's Wi-Fi speed at 840 milliseconds. We will also lose half of our bullet velocity gained from the Tiger Team barrel, from 787 meters per second down to 656 meters per second. Next up on the list, we'll be adding the Bipod attachment, increasing both our horizontal and vertical recoil control by 20%, taking our vertical recoil variable from 883 joules all the way down to 691 joules, and a horizontal recoil variable from 300 joules down to 240. This foregrip will also reduce our sprinting move speed by 6%, from 10.2 miles per hour down to 9.7 miles per hour. Taking a look at our new and improved recoil pattern,
Waypoint marked. Move.
I mean, it's just worlds apart. There's literally no comparison. Like this compared to that is just, I mean, you can see it. It's crazy good. Last on the list, it's speed. First up is the airborne elastic wrap, giving us a whopping 12% boost to our aim down sight time, from 840 milliseconds down to 756 milliseconds for a massive 84 millisecond difference. It will also give us a 90% flinch resistance. For our cons, we take a hit to our shooting strafing speed by 15%, from 5.1 miles per hour down to 4.3 miles per hour. Also, we take another hit to our sprint to fire speed, from 450 milliseconds all the way up to 517 milliseconds. Remember that our sprint to fire is just as important as our aim down sight time. Therefore, next on the list is the radar pad, bringing our sprint to fire back in line with a 30% boost, from the previous 517 milliseconds down to 382 milliseconds, making us 8.4 frames faster. The radar pad will also come with an aim walking boost from 3.2 miles per hour up to 4.5 miles per hour. The radar pad will also come with a heavy hit to our hipfire spread by 30%. However, if you plan to hipfire this thing, a word of advice, Bobby.
Down.
And this is what our final M82 looks like. But Rep 50 Cal, look how far you have fallen. We're not done. It's time for me to give you my personal M82 loadout. We're going to be borrowing both the airborne elastic wrap and the radar pad from our previous loadout to keep the handling stats somewhat tolerable. For our third attachment, we'll also be going with the Bipod for its superior recoil control. We will be sticking with a 22.8 task force barrel for that amazing fire rate boost. And for our last attachment, we're going to be switching from the wrap suppressor and taking away the sniper scope for a mill stop reflex for shorter engagements. What I have effectively done here is added the airborne elastic wrap and the radar pad for maximum handling speeds. Then, with the task force barrel, I have reduced the 2-shot time to kill as much as possible. The bipod attachment will keep us somewhat on target, and the shorter sight will allow us to push enemies as much as the sniper will let us, which is not a lot. Taking a look at our new recoil pattern, and it sits somewhere between the base version and our previous loadout. And this is what my personal M82 looks like. And for the first time in this DMR loadout series, I have no words. I really don't. Well, there you have it. As for my thoughts on this weapon, I had really high hopes, but the last weapon balancing really fucked it. I don't feel comfortable rushing in and using it like a traditional DMR, and I don't feel like I'm able to quickscope with a slow ass aim down sight time. But now, it's time for me to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about the M82? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this episode of the DMR Loadout series and want me to cover another weapon, leave your recommendation down below. Also, hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on to get notified when my videos go live. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitch. Link will be in the description. As always, a like rating is always appreciated. Well, that's all from me today. I'm MLJOR, and I thank you for watching.